But you know what? With Marvel falling apart, it was DC's time to shine. They had Henry Cavill. They had Jason Momoa. They had Gal Gadot. They had, we don't talk about Ezra. He ended his career a long time ago. Yep. Oh, man. This was their time to shine. And what did they do?
Scrapped everything.
The bag. It just fell out of their hands. The coins went everywhere.
Yeah, and that's another thing. We're getting Captain America with you know, whatever whatever they're going to call it now that we have Anthony Mackie.
Yep, we have Captain African American.
Taking over the mantle.
Or we call him Uncle Sam. I don't know.
Wow. I mean, it makes sense because his name.
Yeah, I mean, I'm good at what I do.
You see what he did there? The source material. That's what everyone harps on. It's the source material. I get it. Things aren't always canon. Yeah. Or they decide that things that weren't canon is now canon. Yeah. DBZ's done that. A lot of even animes have done it. Where things that weren't canon is now canon.
In the words of Elsa, it just may be time to let it go. Let's talk about, for one, Ant-Man. Have you seen Ant-Man, the new one, Quantumania?
Nope. Heard mixed reviews. I mean, you can't trust Rotten Tomatoes, but Rotten Tomatoes is rating it well. The audience reviews is, I think, like 80%.
Well, the audience reviews are rating it well.
Yeah.
The critics, though, not so much.
Oh, okay. So what's the issue? What's the concern? Is it the acting? Is it the directing? Is it the script?
I think it all started after Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Okay, so we get Phase 5 began because Doctor Strange
phased out. So Phase 4 was after that.
Okay.
So Spider-Man: No Way Home. Amazing movie. I would say that was the last.
Good. Enjoyed it.
The last great Marvel movie was that.
I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Yeah. But you had Doctor Strange come out. You had Thor come out. Oh, man. You had then Ant-Man. Oh no, you had Black Panther, and then you had Ant-Man, and they gradually got better, but they just did not hit at the exact same level as what Marvel used to hit on. With like before the Infinity War, before that dual movie. So,
well, there's new directing, right? New writers. There's a lot of
not necessarily. One of my favorite Marvel movies is Thor Ragnarok. It was directed by Taika Waititi.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. I liked Thor. I rated to watch that one too. It was pretty good. Some people don't like it. They said it's too. I guess a lot of people think it's just pointless action. That's what people's biggest beef was. It was pointless action.
Thor: Love and Thunder was also directed by Taika Waititi.
Yeah.
But think of it taking Thor Ragnarok and tripling it up on the humor and taking the seriousness out of Thor. And
I couldn't even finish it, man. I watched like a few minutes into it. I was like, what is going on with this? I couldn't finish it.
And they're in transition with teams. So basically they're trying to promote a younger Avenger team.
Because all the old people are getting put out to pasture, retiring.
And not to mention there's also going to be a lot more female leads. And I think that's a big issue is a lot of... I think the term that's being used is Mary Sue's.
Mary Sue's.
From my understanding is these female leads who are being thrust into these roles and they're just already the smartest at everything. They're already
I've been hearing that.
There's no character development there.
I got you. Kind of like She-Hulk. Everybody's big beef with that. It's just she was automatically controlling everything. Yeah. Didn't struggle. Didn't need the manual and everything. And they're like, well, maybe she's just smarter or whatever. And it's like, how does that?
Yeah.
What kind of Goku? Everyone goes through an origin story. Everybody goes through the tough times.
Goku was the worst example to even compare that to.
But still, he went through some stuff and struggled and got up there at least.
Right.
He didn't inherently. He wasn't like Superman. You know, even Superman had to learn his abilities and stuff like that and build himself up. So even those fictitious characters did it. But I get what you're saying. I didn't realize that was a term.
So the problem in Ant-Man, and there's gonna be spoilers. So. If you haven't seen the movie by then, that's not my problem. That's your problem. So, spoiler alert.
There we go.
Disclaimers. Cassie Lang, Scott Lang's daughter.
Of course.
You know, he was gone for 5 years because of the blip.
Yep.
And, you know, and in Ant-Man 3, her thing is she's super smart and she developed this Pym particle dimension thing. Mm-hmm. And that's how they ended up in the quantum realm again of something she built. Granted, she had the help of her grandfather. I feel like we are overshooting a lot of the development of a lot of these leads in that.
Well, I think at the same time, it seems like it's kind of a rush because they're setting up for the Avengers, and then now we got Kang as the new threat,
right,
imminent threat, and like you said, we're having the passing of the mantle.
Right.
So we're getting a new Iron Man. We're getting Ant-Man replaced. We've already got a new Black Panther.
Yeah.
We're slowly. We got Mighty Thor, Jane as Thor. We're already slowly getting these people replaced.
The Mighty Thor made less sense though.
I mean, it did happen in the comics and everything. I get it, but the setup, the way they did it, from what I heard, because like I said, I couldn't get through it. So was just like
the only one that made sense to me was Shuri, because we already know her level of intelligence and character depth from the original Black Panther.
Of course, on top of Infinity, you got a little bit more.
Right.
You got a little bit more touches over it.
Right.
Yeah.
And not to mention that we kind of knew that was where it was headed with the tragic death of Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah, of course.
They're just kind of shoving it in your face, if you will.
Well, I think because they're trying to shoot, because they're going to revamp everything, and like I said, with these new characters, and they're not competing with DC per se, because DC's been shooting themselves in the foot anyway, beating their own asses, as some people would say. Yeah. But I think and I don't know if you've been hearing with James Gunn, a lot of these big directors, and they're saying there's too much content, so we're going to start seeing them slow it down, because you got Mandalorian's getting ready to drop next month.
Right.
And you've just had Ant-Man. We're getting ready to, what else is getting ready to drop? There's 2 or 3 other things getting ready to drop, and all these projects are running at once. So they're running into Marvel fatigue. So people aren't giving enough attention to these other things because they favor the others. People love Mandalorian. But there's another big Marvel one, but people aren't going to pay attention to it because Mandalorian is going to be taking people's lives up in March. So you get these things where people love, and then they don't get the same energy.
Right.
Ant-Man's, I guess from what I've seen from numbers, they said it's not performing well here, but in China, because they changed, China is now allowing Marvel to be shown there, because we apparently pissed China off. They're doing well, China, because when you haven't been able to see a lot of Marvel in the last 2 or 3 years, anything Marvel is going to excite you. You're going to go see it. Right. So they're killing it international, but domestically, not so much.
Yeah.
So that's what the issue's running into, but it's all part of Marvel repackaging itself, and the cutoffs, the layoffs. I think they laid off 12,000 people. Some obscene amount of people to shave off $5 billion, and they're going to be pulling content off their Disney Plus, because they're not going to hammer on it as much as Netflix and everybody else about sharing.
Right.
What they're doing is just going to take content away. So
which is fine.
Which is fine, because there's a lot of content. As long as they're not taking too many throwbacks and stuff like that off.
Right.
I enjoy that.
Well, this is my thing. This is my biggest gripe with Marvel right now. Character development. It is very, 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 very important. And I feel like we're just kind of introducing new characters. And I guess my biggest gripe in Black Panther was, what's her name? Ironheart? The chick who played Ironheart?
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot about her.
I'm like, okay, she's automatically a genius and built an Iron Man suit in her garage. I'm like, okay. There's no backstory there. It's just like, okay, she was just added and thrust into the story just for plot armor. No pun intended.
So Guardians of the Galaxy is going to drop Volume 3.
But they're finishing up, though, because that's going to be the last Guardians of the Galaxy.
Exactly. Well, because there's all this speculation who's going to die, which everybody kind of already figures is probably going to be spoiled.
Don't be spoiling nothing. I'm going to go see it.
Yeah, it's probably Drax, because Dave's done. He's done. He wants to do more serious roles, like knock on the door and everything.
Don't spoil it.
Yeah. So we know that's probably going to happen. But if you've seen the little snippets they've been dropping, they've been trying to, Marvel's good at this. They've been showing Rocket.
Right.
Set up in a situation, people are carrying Rocket away, so now it's like, okay, we like Rocket, but everybody's like, well, Bradley Cooper can be easily replaced, so there's that logic too. So,
right.
And then some people were saying Groot might be done again. The first one where we thought he was dead, he wasn't really, he just came back. But
well, I think we're gonna see a lot more non-MCU movies start to take hold. Okay. So, what didn't Disney buy 21st Century Fox anyway? So Deadpool is technically canon. I'm more excited for Deadpool and Spider-Man Into the Multiverse.
Me too. X-Men. We're getting X-Men 97 comes out this year too.
Oh, yeah.
So they're going to keep all the artwork the same as 97, and it's going to pick up where the story ended on X-Men 97.
I can't wait.
That music. I'm sorry. So, there's that too. So that's big this year too. So they have all these projects going because, Marvel does stuff in 5-year sequences, so they plan it way far ahead. But like you said, Phase 5 has just been... I'm trying to.
Well, Phase 5 just started.
Well, yeah,
just started. But Phase 4, that was a lot to get through. That was because I watched all the TV shows. My favorite TV show from Phase 4 was Loki.
And I heard a lot of great things.
Because Loki was like a buddy cop thing. I thought, and I liked it better than Falcon Winter Soldier. That one was weird.
Like 2 episodes in, I got into it. I was like, this is all right. And then the Zemo thing and everything else with the changing of the garb and everything else, I was just like, yeah. And that's another thing. We're getting Captain America with you know, whatever whatever they're going to call it now that we have Anthony Mackie.
Yep, we have Captain African American.
taking over the mantle.
Or we call him Uncle Sam. I don't know.
Wow. I mean, it makes sense because it's like...
Yeah, I mean, I'm good at what I do.
You see what you did there?
I'm excited for Loki. Post-credit scene in Ant-Man. I was like, okay, finally they're tying some things together. Finally you're seeing some shows tie into the movies. I think that's pretty cool.
One thing that we got to give to Marvel at least. They connect things together at least. Yeah. This happened, and this is how you connect everything together.
But you know what? With Marvel falling apart, it was DC's time to shine. They had Henry Cavill. They had Jason Momoa. They had Gal Gadot. They had... We don't talk about Ezra. He ended his career a long time ago. Yeah. Oh, man. This was their time to shine. And what did they do?
Scrapped everything.
The bag. It just fell out of their hands. The coins went everywhere.
Apparently, now with James Gunn and I can't forget whatever the other dude's name is that took over, they're wanting younger, sleeker. So they're revamping. They're going with a younger Superman. We're starting all over. So now the Flash, the next movie we're getting is the Flash, and anybody, if you're into comics, we're gonna get a Flashpoint where it's gonna reset everything. So now with that reset, we're gonna get into things like Waller. I guess they said that, and we're gonna get a couple other new characters that we're gonna start seeing a little bit more of. Allegedly, Jason Momoa is gonna be Lobo.
Ooh, I'm okay with that.
And that was a good cast.
I'm okay with that.
Because Lobo's pretty dope. Most people know that.
Okay,
He's immortal and everything like that, and you know, he's big in Superman's universe and everything.
Well, the one thing I liked about DC, and it's not even DCU, the CW verse with the Flash and Arrow and all that, they had this big like multiversal event, and it actually crossed over into the DC universe because there was a small scene where the Flash from the CW met the Flash or Ezra Miller from DC. I was like, that's dope. Yeah. I hope they do that. Yeah. But now I know they're not going to do that.
Well, Flashpoint is going to touch on that a little bit because as they showed in the previews, we're going to get Batfleck and Michael Keaton.
Oh, yes.
So they did confirm. That's been confirmed. So that, and we're going to get, we're not getting obviously Superman because he's not around, but we're going to get Kara. So we're going to go with her. Zod's back. So there's that too, because the universes are crossing over. Uh-huh. So it looks promising, but a lot of people aren't watching it because Ezra's in it. Everybody's excited because Keaton and everything else is leading up to it.
I'm gonna watch it because I just have a feeling it's going to be better than what Marvel is going to be putting out for a while.
Absolutely, and I think that's people's mindsets. Like, all right, here we go, finally. Because Aquaman 2, they still got to push out Aquaman 2 because that's still happening because it's done, even though in spite of the Amber Heard thing, you know, whatever. Because they're worried about that because of that situation because they haven't confirmed whether it's just 10 minutes or did they cut her out altogether. It's still you get on the internet, it says 2 different things. Yeah, she's only going to be in there for a very short 10-minute spurts. She's completely cut out of it. We don't know whether that is or not.
I mean, if she's in it, I'm just going to boo at the screen.
Yeah, that's pretty much what a lot of people are going to do. And then we're still going to get Shazam. Shazam 2 is still happening.
Yeah, that's still happening.
So, and then after that, everything's going to reset. No more of that. The Black Adam thing already happened because obviously that made news when The Rock stopped following them on social media, stopped following Black Adam, stopped following WB because they scrapped him too. So even he got dropped. Everyone's getting dropped. So because they want younger people. So that's the direction I guess DC is going with. We want to create a whole new universe where we're going to start talking about younger Superman.
But I hate it though. It's like they're doing that. I'll tell you why they're doing that because that's what Marvel's doing. Marvel's going for younger people.
Yeah, picking up the younger, but you're right.
But that's exactly what.
But we're not calling it phase though.
Chapters. They're going for younger people just because Marvel's going for younger people.
Chapters. Well, because the people our age group, the millennials and everything, we're getting older. They want to keep us interested in Xers and stuff, but the Zers and they want to grab that younger group.
You got to build a team first. You got to have a successful franchise first. Like, the best thing to come out to DCU to this day is the Snyder Cut. And that's not even a take. That's just what it is.
Yeah. Well, some people would say that there's too much with the Snyders. It's a big following, kind of like Spielberg's got a big following. Like, not everything they do is great, and some people don't feel like.
Okay, and that's fair, but the Snyder Cut's great.
I enjoyed it. It answered more questions. It gave you more depth to the characters, and it just was like, all right, so I guess Cyborg's here now. Cool. That's cool. This
I would
person's
say
here.
Cyborg, the dude who played Cyborg, I think that was the beginning of the end for DC because of the allegations with Josh Whedon.
Yeah, okay.
Josh Whedon.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah. So yeah.
Josh Whedon. But yeah, he had a whole issue with Josh Whedon, and it kind of just went south from there.
I don't remember hearing about that though.
And then it was that, and then you started hearing about the Ezra Miller drama.
Oh yeah, that man lost.
And then
excuse me, they lost their mind because he's got pronouns. He's a thing.
I mean, if he's the Flash, I mean, he can be in many multiverses at the same time, so it's kind of works.
All right, there you have it.
But yeah, that was going on. Then Henry Cavill was going to do The Witcher. Then he got kicked off The Witcher.
Well, yeah, because they didn't a different way that he wanted it to go.
And they weren't sticking to the source material.
Yeah, of course. And then on top of that, I guess he had other projects. They confirmed him to come back as Superman. So that was the whole thing with Black Adam. We all saw that. So we were like, hey, here we go.
And they stripped it from him.
Yeah, but I guess he's got something with World of Warcraft or something else.
Oh, yeah, Warhammer. That's going to be fun. I can't wait.
That's so good for him.
The cosplays are going to be amazing.
Good for him. We applaud him because he's a true nerd. I mean, you heard about this. Everybody's heard the story about him going to Man of Steel. When he's supposed to have his audition, he was almost late because of why? He was doing a raid on World of Warcraft. And he's like, I was almost late because I can't leave my friends. He said, I can't leave my buddies. We're raiding. So, dude is true to it. He loves it. And he's a cool, humble dude at that. Cool dude. But both these two big things, yeah. But you know what? There's still anime. What are you stoked for anime?
See, that's why. That's why anime is kicking American comics' ass right now. Destroying them. As far as writing, character development, animation, action, like all of it. You know what? What if they got some Japanese writers to write some American comic book stories?
They probably tried that. And people were saying, why are you giving our... He's kind of going back to why are you giving our jobs away?
Oh, talk about when they had anime X-Men?
Yeah, see? That was good, though. That's dope. It's on Netflix still. That was dope. The Wolverine one and the Professor X one was sick. I enjoyed those. Yeah. They were great. Why are people hating on that? I like a different style of art. I like a different style of storytelling. Right. It was great.
The anime, that's what I need. I need an animated DC movie, but animated by Mappa, who do the animations for.
See that? There you go. Oh, God, that would be sick. You could probably ask AI to do that. Apply it and see what it would look like.
We're not doing that.
That would be sick. I agree.
I look at it like this: the state of the MCU, DCU, they're both in flux right now. I would say be patient, but you know what? We are getting older as a generation, at least the people who were fans of this, hardcore fans of this growing up.
Especially if you read comic books or you watch TV shows and everything. We know things are going to change. We all know inevitably things are going to change. The source material. That's what everyone harps on. It's the source material. I get it. Things aren't always canon. Or they decide that things that weren't canon is now canon. Yeah. DBZ's done that. A lot of even animes have done it, where things that weren't canon is now canon.
In the words of Elsa, it just may be time to let it go.
There we have it.
Subscribe.